Hey, I'm Heather, and I'm so excited to talk to you about boosting your baby's brain development. Really, it's all about giving your child the best start possible so that you can understand what your baby's brain needs and why, and empower them to grow to be their best. And the first year is a wonderful window of time to do this. And that's why I'm so passionate to share this with moms. Let's face it, when you've just learned you're going to be a mother, now you know you want to be a good mom and you want to give your baby and child the best start possible. That's just natural. I've also had 4 babies, so I understand what it's like to want to give your child the best start. To start with, just a little bit about me. I have 4 kids, 3 boys and a girl. I have twin boys in there. I homeschooled for a number of years because education has always been a huge passion of mine. Some of my kids struggled to read, and then I went on this massive journey of learning how to actually change the brain so they could absorb information and become strong readers and writers, and they did. That took me on a journey for brain training. Now, when I say brain training, what I'm talking about is I went down the roads of getting certified and trained in cutting edge brain training techniques, and there are several methods. I also worked with a colleague who was trained in this too, so we began working with children who struggled in school. Sometimes bright, clever children, but they struggled or had brain blocks and just could not absorb, whether it was math or words to read. It's amazing as you learn as your child gets older that kids all have strengths and weaknesses, just like us as adults, and we're all unique. And I really believe in helping a child unlock their fullest potential. I mean, after all, we want our kids to grow up to be confident. We want them to be successful in whatever they choose to do. On that journey, I learned about how babies and children develop and the different sensitive periods for development. And then when I worked with children, I really witnessed how they revealed gaps in their learning, gaps that should have been filled when they were babies. Different movement stimulations, practices and techniques, touch stimulations, like stimulating the biggest brain systems. It's almost like they just didn't get enough of that. And I saw that this is actually quite common today. And you know what? My kids probably didn't get the same. I didn't know any of this back then. And I feel like I'm on a mission to just share this with mothers because it should just be mainstream and commonly known. And this isn't necessarily something you can just look up on YouTube. YouTube will tell you for your baby's brain to engage with your baby, which is great, to talk to them, to sing to them, but to respond to them, look them in the eyes and respond and engage, respond to their cries. They also say, stick your tongue out. Anyways, that is all valuable information, but there's more. And that's what I teach in my program. When I saw these gaps in these children, I realized, okay, I need to make a class or write a book or something because I want to share this with everyone. So when COVID hit, that's when I finally had the extra time to do it. First, I learned, you can't write a book. You gotta have a huge following. Well, I kind of have that now. But instead, so I made a course, which is actually probably a little bit easier and quicker to go through than reading an entire book. And side note, I homeschooled because I wanted to give my kids a real learning experience. Unfortunately, when I was at school, it was just a big memorization game. And a few weeks later, I would forget, even though I was really good at the memorization game. I just wanted to give my kids a taste of real learning in the sense of if we were in the kitchen and we saw birds come to the bird feeder, we could take out our book about birds and the science book and find out what kind of birds are they, what do they eat, etc. Being a homeschool mom, of course, at the beginning, I thought I was the cause of the challenge to read. But as time went by, I had to go on this journey of finding the solution to my kids' issue. And schools aren't equipped to truly help dyslexic kids. Either they just don't have the training, or they don't have the resources, or they don't have the brain-changing therapies to provide in the school level. And I consulted with teachers. That's what started this journey, and I loved it. I became fascinated by what can unlock the brain. And I've always wanted to give my kids their best potential. So they did turn out to be very strong reader and writers, but it was a few years delayed and took time of growth. And they both ended up going to university and getting compliments on their writing. Like I said, all children have their strengths and weaknesses. And this is about building your baby's potential to grow into a child that has their full potential unlocked, where their brain connected in their mind and their body, so they can be smarter in school and stronger in sports or physical coordination. I know there's a lot of different kinds of information out there. In fact, you're probably either tired of it or overwhelmed, especially on social media, being bombarded. I understand. That's why I can say genuinely that moms who do my program get so excited because they finally feel confident about knowing what exactly to do with their baby that's good for them. And it's such a reassurance to understand the why this is important, and then the how. It's not difficult to do. There are powerful things you can do daily with your baby, incorporate in your routines easily, that can make a huge difference on their development. If you've heard me speak before, I talk about the first year being a window of opportunity, and it really is. In fact, the first 0 to 7 or 8 months is key because that's before your baby crawls. And it's just this excellent window where your baby goes through different movement sequences, and you can take advantage of this because that's how your baby is learning and growing their brain and growing the brain pathways they need. So I recommend 2 things. If you're pregnant, it's best to start the program while you're pregnant so that you can be ready to begin implementing from the first week of birth. If you've already given birth and your baby's up to 6 months old, you can still start through the program and give your baby that brain boost that they can use and need, and it will make such a difference. You may be wondering, if this is all so special, then how come it's not commonly known or talked about? I think that's because doctors just assume that it's occurring. They just assume the process is happening. But what I've witnessed and seen today is the way that we are living, we are not giving our babies that opportunity to thrive, to be their best. That we actually do hold them back in certain ways, and they don't get the stimulation that they need because no one's really talking about it. That's also why I'm so passionate to share this with moms. So in my education course, the Baby Moves Method, your baby is going to grow the brain connections they need for reading and writing in the future. You're going to give them the strong foundation they need so that they can grow to their fullest potential as a child as possible. They will become more connected in their brain and body and grow a strong mind-body connection and a strong core, which is all related. And this will help them to be more physically coordinated and connected, and that all their movements hopefully will extend from the core. That's the ideal, so that they can also be physically growing to their fullest potential. You are going to be empowered with the why this is so important, and the science behind it, so that you understand how it all works, and then you're super motivated. Plus, you learn how to incorporate it into your daily routines so that it becomes something you can do easily daily. Then I show you the how. I provide demo videos that show you exactly what to do and how to do it. And it also increases fun time with your baby. You can use those every day. When you start the program, you simply log in and you go through the educational component, which you can either power through over a few days as fast as you like, or if you want to go slowly and just do 10 minutes a day, you can be finished in just over a week. The next step is going through the demo videos, which shows you exactly what to do and how and at what age, and goes over the exercises and movements and touch practices. Plus, I provide lullabies and music so that you can be encouraged to sing. I'm not a natural singer, but singing and talking to your baby as much as you can, as much as realistic, is so good for them. So that's an extra bonus. So the first year really is a window of opportunity that you're not going to want to miss. And this is because your baby is born with these primitive reflexes, which initiate all of your baby's movements. And this whole process is part of their development and has a layering effect. It matures the brain and develops the nervous system. This whole process is finished mostly by age 1 and a little bit up to age 3. That's why it's such a wonderful window to get in all these powerful stimulations. It's like an investment for your baby and your child's future so that they can get the strongest foundation from the beginning. Lastly, I just want to let you know that please feel free to reach out to me at any time. I love to get messages from the mamas in my programs from all over the world. It's great. It's exciting to share, and I love to encourage. So if you get the program or if you have any questions, feel free to contact me anytime.